Hi, this is Robert Eyes. I live in Denton, Texas, and you are in the music room. Well, the first time I seen that bow-legged Weevil, he was rocking on my front porch chair. Next time I seen that horny little devil, had his whole fam damnly there. They were looking for a home, hoping it don't turn out to be a tomb. See, the Weevil, there's a mortgage on my baggage, so I left my fancy luggage in a locker in the downtown Greyhound flop. I would have flown if I could afford a ticket, but the fare's so dang wicked that there's barely room to dance the Weevil hop. My Weevil wifey says I'm no provider, 'cause all I wanna do is ride her and rake a whole lot more Weevils when I should be boring in the cotton crop. Eating out of house and home, where's the next meal gonna come from? Well now, hey there, little chigger, how the hell now do you figure on finding any easy pickings here? You chewed up most of cotton, what you left behind's gone rotten. Ain't good enough to make cheap underwear. It ain't much, but it's my home, and I celebrate it in my poem. Well, my grits is full of Weevil, the landlord's a greedy devil, and I'm starving like an Okie eating his pride. How I wound up in Texas, that's the question that perplexes. I know I ought to be grateful for the lady by my side. From my ribs she took a bone and built a shelter from the storm. But I'm still fetching like a Texan with a hex on him that's vexing him every time he hits a hopeful stride, running from a home, hiding in a womb.
Yeah. You know a man's through with the song when he reaches for his coffee cup.
That's right. Welcome, Robert. We finally got you here in the music room. We've tried this a couple of times. Last night it was ice. Tonight, here you are. Welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me over here. I can't tell you how much your aegis means to me.
Well,
It's wonderful to know that some people hopefully are going to hear something of what I have to offer.
a lot of people are going to hear what you have to offer. Tell us a little bit about you. We know that you're living in Denton right now. Where did you start out, and how did you get to Denton?
Ooh.
Do I dare ask?
Well, it's a long, long story.
We'll start at the beginning.
But, yeah, I was born in East LA, man. I was born in East Los Angeles. My folks moved us to Hollywood when I was 4 years old, and that's pretty much where I grew up. I went to school in Hollywood. Some of my classmates became movie stars, and I started singing in coffee houses as soon as I graduated high school in L.A. at the beginning of what I knew was as the folk revival. I'm contemporaneous with people like Judy Collins and Joan Baez and Bob Dylan. We all started out about the same time. They knew who they were and what they wanted, and I had no idea. Because I was hoping to be an actor, and that was not the hopes that my family had for me. So just about out of spite, I started singing folk songs in coffee houses, and it grew from there, like, you know, that stuff that gets between your toes. And I was ostensibly a folk pop singer for the next 15 years or so, until I finally worked up the courage to join an acting schools in Michigan, interestingly enough, because I had always been enamored of British acting, and the school was set up to teach American actors British technique, and circumstances were such that I had my fill of singing in coffee houses and bars and not knowing who I was and needing to discover the actor in myself. And so that's what I did when I was 31 years old. And that was a number of decades ago.
Mm-hmm. You know, one thing, I myself went to North Texas State, which is the University of North Texas now in Denton, where you live, and I was a drama major. And
She
so,
still is.
No, I'm not.
Oh.
Anyway, I took a class from Ed DeLadd. It was a musical theater class, and one of the things that he showed us from the get-go was, see this book, and this book was, I mean, so thick. It was thicker than a telephone book. And all it was headshots and bios of people who were looking to be typecast. And I thought, you know what? I think I chose the wrong major. And I changed my major a couple of times while I was in school. But yeah, so it's a rough road.
So you're two avocations. Singer-songwriting and acting, both of them have their peril, I guess, in that thing. I want to talk to you about both those things, but I want to talk to you more right now about some guy that wrote a song about Joan of Arc.
This song has a very interesting history as far as I'm concerned. I wrote the song for the final 5 years of my work in nightclubs and so forth. Before I went into the acting school, I had a singing partner. She was a beautiful blonde girl who was fixated on a certain way of life. The music she made had to be uplifting and beautiful and exquisite, and she thought of me as kind of a devil.
No, not you.
Well, you know, how can you know what one thing is if you don't know what the opposite is, you know, to play? I'm not saying I was a hard guy or anything like that, but she to me was like, you know, Guinevere was to King Arthur, just this princess. And she was beautiful. She looked like, and she still is a beautiful woman. She looked a lot like Catherine Deneuve, one of those, you know, gorgeous blonde movie stars. But anyway, she insisted that I had no idea who she was. I didn't understand her at all. So I took it into my head to write a song to let her know, for her, that would let her know that I knew just who she was. And the song I wrote is called Je vous aime, Jeanne, and it is about Joan of Arc. And at the time, that's how I saw her. Now, after my the earlier part of my career was over, I drove a cab for a while in New York City before I did a show at the New York Shakespeare Festival. I quit the cab job because I thought I was on my way, and a lot I knew. But one of the very last fares I had in my cab was Joan Baez, and I was so overcome by her presence, I didn't think that I should sing her this song, because I had actually written it in the back of my mind with her in mind in the first place. There's a song that she sang called Henry Martin that has a musical passage that goes da 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 da, that I had been fascinated with for years, and I was able to incorporate that phrase in this song. So originally, the song is told entirely in the first person, in Joan's voice, but because I'm doing it as a solo now, it's both her and the narrator, and I guess you're going to have to figure out which is which. Either that or just convince you that I'm the greatest actor you ever heard. In the little village of Domremy, born to the blade and the cross, at 16 her voices were calling to her, and to girlhood and peace she was lost. Mon Père, my God, hath commanded, I am to put off my apron and take up the sword and dress me in steel like a man. He cursed her father with tears in his eyes. Their parting was silent, they ain't people for goodbyes. Only the voice she hears calling her name, Je vous aime, Jeanne, je vous aime. She took Charlie's army to Orleans. Their tears turned the earth into mud. But England was broken, for God was with France. The goddams drowned in their own blood. Petite dauphin, take from my hand the crown. I'm the people, the salt of the earth. I'm thy heart, and I'm the land. Though my vision returns me to the dust whence I came, let 'em all brand me a heretic and damn me to the flames. My voices are all I hear, calling my name. Je vous aime, Jeanne, je vous aime. How gentle and cool falls the rain in her eyes as she's lashed to the stake and the fire finds her scream, and for Jesus she cries, and soldier, hold the cross higher. Now I may see why my life is but a pillar of smoke in the cold morning air, or the track of a sparrow in flight. As I breathe in at the last the hot breath of hell, it's burn, witch, burn, the dark angels yell, as my own burning voice cries out my name. Je vous aime, je vous aime. Still a work in progress.
See the actor in your songs, though, because your songs have drama in them. I'm very interested in knowing that. I know that in talking to you that you've done a lot of film work, and we
down here I have, yeah.
Huh?
I have in this part of the country. I've done some in New York, background work, it's called. And when I was a kid, 20 years old, I was on Maverick in L.A.
Remember that?
With Roger Moore. Nice fellow.
Yeah. Now, you said you've done film work around here. What are some of the films that you've worked in that you've done since you've been in Texas?
Well, the last thing I did a film called The Veil, which was it's kind of a sword and a sorcery escapist kind of thing. I played a despicable human being.
I can see you as a wizard.
They gave me teeth. And my voice was like this, you know.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there you go.
Have you studied accents and things like that too? And all
Yeah, I didn't study that in acting school, but I've had a facility for funny voices and accents since I was a child.
Your parents should have known by then.
Yeah. One of the first movies I saw was a Donald Duck cartoon, and I walked out. I was 4 years old, I swear. I walked out of that theater talking like a duck.
And you could do all the characters, huh?
Yeah. I did.
What does Texas weather do to that voice?
Oh.
I think you've got a song called Texas
I got a song called Texas Weather.
Can you sing it in Donald Duck voice for me? Actually, I won't put you through that. I'm afraid you could do it.
I think I did sing in Duck once. What can I say about this?
I don't know, but you keep getting back from the microphone on me.
Imagine you're in some funky old nightclub or coffee house, and there's an old dude. He's been around for goodness knows how long, and you're like a fly on the wall, and this lady comes into his dressing room while he's noodling like I'm doing right now. And she says, recognize me? And he says, oh, yeah, I remember you. If only I could remember your name. And she tells him, and he says, oh, well, that was way, way back in the day when I was still chasing after fortune and fame. Oklahoma City. Yeah, that was a sweet and seductive old place once upon a time, with that alfalfa wind sweeping down the plain. And you, with your curly black hair and your skin so fair and kisses soft as a tropical rain. And then a year went by and I came back to Oklahoma and I saw you just one more time. You walked into my dressing room with a great big smile and the photo of a baby. And you said, well, this is my little boy, my beautiful little boy. He looked like anybody we know. And then you kissed my cheek and said, oh, I gotta go. My husband is waiting outside. You have yourself a wonderful show. That was so long ago. That little baby's a middle-aged man by now, with probably full-grown children of his own. And this old so-and-so right here has yet to get his grasshopper in life going. Maybe he could make a start by figuring out the rules of this existential game. But where does he begin if he can't even remember the mother of his only child's name? Me and a second-hand store guitar. Me tip jar, trying to make my memories pay my rent in a funky downtown Fort Worth bar. Me with all my future promise blown, me with no place left to go but down, me with nothing else but some old-fashioned song. And she walks in like the promise I made myself when the world was younger than sin, when every day might be one more sweet beginning, sweet beginning of the end of my I don't care, and I'm sprung from the prison that painting the whitewash in my hair. She walks up and my cool comes all undone. Her hair is midnight sun. She says, come on, boy, come on. Play me that one. Play me that song. Play me that low down Texas song. When you see that Texas sister coming, hear that Texas twister rumbling. They play a tune to break an old man down, make a young man cry. Leave your hometown shattered, leave your poor young heart in tatters, till there's nothing left that really matters but a song. Say goodbye. Texas weather, Texas women, don't they love to tease? Like a young man cries his eyes out, the Texas prairie dries out, and that pitiless prairie breeze, it's 110 degrees. Texas weather and that sultry silver Texas summer moon. Even though I wear a lot of that Texas leather, I still can't get me none of that Texas poon. You're gonna be Texas, old there cowboy, you better be Texas rich by damn, or you be chasing after Texas baba like some randy old Texas ram. Can't go back to Oklahoma. There's a shotgun got me in its side. Can't go back to Kansas, it's all in black and white. The lion just a pussy and he's higher than a kite. The scarecrow burns and the tin man turns to rust in the hooded night. So I come on down to Texas, Emerald City Fair. hoping to add my music to the restless Dallas air. But I got a witch or two to melt down before my song can fly. And a storm or two to weather, and my time is drawing nigh. Texas lightning, Texas hail, Texas football, Texas jailbait, cheerleaders, Texas tail, Texas penicillin for a rusty Texas nail. Might have gone back to Oklahoma, but my Surrey done lost that fringe. Forget about Kansas, I'm too butch for William Inge. It's kaput in Kansas City, old Truman's on a binge. My blood runs cold as his tale gets told in a voice like a rusting hinge. So I mosey on down to San Antone, pluck me a Texas rose. Mourn the hills, roam the hills with the ghost of Bob Wills. He can tell me where she grows. And we will pile in the back of a pink Cadillac, take Memphis by storm. I'll be an overnight living legend when I find the king in the Graceland old folks home. Oh yeah. Texas twister rumbling, a Texas sister's coming. They play a tune to break an old man down, make a young man cry.
Now that's an adventure. That's an adventure. You write a book.
Randy just said he could see the cinematography that went along with all the lyrics that you had in that song.
Yes, that's exactly what was in my head.
That's kind of, you're a very theatrical writer, and we don't get that very often. We get things that are, we get Guthrie Kennard sing about catfish fishing. And
and most of the Texas songs are about the blue bonnets and all this, and he's writing about cheerleaders and ping pong.
Yes, that's what had my attention. Okay. Anyway,
well, you seem to really like Texas because you wrote that song, and you also wrote another song called "You Don't Want to Come to Texas." Why don't you set that up for us?
Yeah. This song has a sister song, and I'll play them together because I don't know, I'm probably running out of time anyway. There's no story behind it. It's just I was vibing with the atmosphere I was in. One of the biggest reasons why I decided to come down here was music, period. Because see, when I was just a little boy and my mother asked me what kind of instrument I wanted to play, which she regretted asking because she should have just shoved the violin at me. I think that's what she wanted to do, either that or tie me to a piano. But what I said was, I want to play the guitar like the Cowboys, Roy Rogers and Gene Autry and Tex Ritter. I worship Tex Ritter. And I did. That's
Scott, all that whole bunch.
One thing Johnny Cash and I have in common. Bless you. Tex Ritter.
Do that song for us, Rob.
it's a heaven, with or without the stars. The dark is strewn with rusting strings on beat-up old pawn-shop guitars and old abandoned cars where ancient wars were fought with footloose troubadours. You don't wanna come to Texas with that old broken heart. You don't wanna come down here to hang your head. That star you see waving there in that prairie breeze so fair won't let you take that lonesome heart to bed without a fight, and it'll cost you more than you can afford in crying time, when dying time is just a little way down the road. Lost love in Texas is just one more hole to heave. The eyes of Texas shed no tears where a heart can find no sleep. So you hold your head up high, 'cause the Rio ain't so grand. For an old coyote in his old gray coat with a broke heart in his hand, with a broke heart in his hand.
You had a line in that song that was "Old Broken Heart," and I know that's the next song you've got on your list.
Yeah.
How many times in your life have people told you sound a lot like Leon Redbone? I hear a lot of that tone in your voice. I know that may not be what you want to hear, but I mean, actually,
once or twice.
He's been
once or twice.
You know, he's been quite a success in his own realm. You know, so not a bad place to be.
The first time it happened, I didn't know who he was, and the fellow was very much in his cups, and he was offended that I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." He wanted to duke it out with me because, as far as he was concerned, I was insulting Leon Redbone because I didn't say that I was learning from him or ripping him off, as it were.
But you just took a parallel direction, that's all. You know,
that's cool.
There's nothing wrong with that. Tell us about "Old Broken Heart."
Yeah. Well, this is the first song I wrote in Texas. I'm drawing on my own history and the history of one or two other people. When I finished this song, I was convinced that I had come to the right place. And I guess you got to say the song is pretty much self-explanatory. But after I sing it, maybe I'll think of something else.
Play it for us.
And Somebody hold that old man's hand. Somebody dry that old man's tears. Somebody help him understand why he wasted all of those years sailing along on the wings of a song, or the words of an antique lay, thumbing a ride out the light in the old dark side. How much longer that old man stayed on the road with an old broken heart? Since I took the love of my life and tore it all apart, like Brother Cain in his guilt and shame, lost in the dark, on the road with an old broken heart. I can't wake up from his broken old dream, shaking it up with every song that I sing. I'm so damn cool playing the fool. That's my part on the road with an old broken heart. Broken heart, plans and schemes, broken hope and broken dreams, broken vows, bitter hours, regret, regret, skid row dives, not off drives, down I slide in broken pride on faithless wives with scarred up lives who share my troubled bed. Retro tunes, rhymes for moons, old time saloons. Little boy crying, mama, mama, the wind tore my balloon. Like I still cry, mama, I tore myself apart on the road with an old broken heart, on the road with an old broken heart.
Like that song.
Yeah. Very
I
nice.
like that song.
Being that you're a songwriter and a musician and a singer, did you do any musical theater in your career of acting?
Oh, yeah, I did.
Oh, this is going to be good.
Yes, yes, I did. I did many shows.
Yeah.
I did.
Rodgers and Hammerstein. Or...
I did The Sound of Music
Did you?
with Judy Kay
Oh, wow.
That was quite the most wonderful experience. Wow, what a talented woman that is. Can she sing? Best voice of its kind that I have ever heard since Ethel Merman. My, what a sound.
Getting to know you.
Power. Pure power.
Love Ethel Merman.
And I didn't play the guy with the lead. I played the agent.
Ah, okay.
Max. Yeah, that was really
and
a lot.
Where did you do that?
With an opera company in Michigan.
In Michigan.
In Detroit, Michigan Opera Theater. I did 3 shows for those people. I did the Mikado, where I played I played Coco.
All right.
You know?
Once upon a time, huh?
Yeah.
That's how every good story starts, is once upon a time.
Yeah.
I've never heard a song called Once Upon a Time.
I know.
But he's got one.
Is this a fairy tale song?
No, it's an original having to do with it's a love lost tune.
Okay.
And in my mind, it is being sung by a Cajun. I think I wanted to do it that way because I was so taken at the time I wrote the song with the books of James Lee Burke. I'm an enormous fan of his writing. If you don't know his work, you should, because he's a wonderful novelist. I thought we'd be together till the sun went down, and I don't mean until the end of the day. Yet here I am alone in the late afternoon, and I haven't seen you since the early AM of our affair. When I gave in to despair, I had it all right there. Mon pauvre courage, venir merde. And though I knew right then it wasn't right, I couldn't stop myself from doing what I did last night. I know that it's been hours since we've locked our eyes. I know there's nothing left of what we were, though I still believe that love never dies. And you think I'm a loser and a liar. Someone help me to begin again. I don't wanna die a lost and bitter old man. Let me only look heaven in the face one more time and forgive the fool I used to be. Wonder how I like the night. Bet you I don't miss the sun. I suffocate in the light. I barely breathe before the sun goes down. And yet I know that there's a heaven. I've looked it in the face. I even know there's a paradise I vacationed in that place, that I may not lose the memory of the grace whence I fell. My bed's a desolation on a quiet floor in hell. upon a time, just a few dark moments ago. I looked heaven in the face, and when we kissed, oh mon Dieu, I don't know. I don't know. Je ne sais pas.
Well, I hear that you are working on a CD. Yeah? Well, tell us about that project.
Well, you heard what I'm going to put on it.
All righty then.
Are you in the process of recording it right now?
I've begun to do so. Yeah, I'm not happy so far with what I've got, but I'm still working on it.
Well, you never know what you're going to get out of here this evening. Maybe you'll have a good bit of your CD ready after this night, huh?
From your mouth to God's ear, as we say.
You know, Robert, you've again. I can't even hardly discuss songwriting with you without talking about the theatrics of all this because of your background and the way you write, because you're a very unique writer.
Such a drama queen you are.
Thank you for the appellation.
But you've
I
got
love being called an artist. Fly Away World is a song that I wrote for a film because this friend of mine, a lovely lady named Sharon Garrison, was trying to get the rights to a song called Fly Me to the Moon, but they wouldn't give it to her for her movie. And she asked me, do I know anything? Do I know of a song that maybe could take its place? And I said, listen, I think I can write something. Let me try, and if you like it, use that. So I did, and she liked it. And it's in a film called Painted Woman. The film is a short film that's making the rounds of the film festivals now. The man who's the lead in it won a Best Actor award in that particular milieu, independent film. It's a story about an aging lady of the evening whose favorite boyfriend happens to come back and present himself to her after the two of them haven't seen each other for a long, long time. And it's quite unlike anything I've written, as far as I know, as far as I can remember. It's a fly-away world for a dream-struck boy and girl, adrift on an ocean of cloud, their wings heavy laden with a shroud of which dreams are made. I feel you loving me like the ocean loves her island. I love you like the mountain loves the sky, with the soul of an eagle of the sea right here in our hands, sailing on the winds of time. We dare to fly creation to the roof of the world. Fly to Eden's garden, fly, my golden girl. And so we fly in a pride of angels, with a fiery grace, then rise in a tide of changes, to be reborn in a brand new space.
Very nice. I like that.
That's the tender side of Robert Eyes. Very nice.
Thank
Very
you.
Nice. I want to thank you so much for coming down this evening.
My
playing
pleasure.
Your songs for us and chatting with us. Why don't you go ahead and take us out of the show with your song Casablanca?
Sometimes I introduce the song this way. Ricky, why have you come to Casablanca? I came for the waters. Ricky, Casablanca is a desert. I was misinformed. But I kind of like the music, you know what I'm saying? I want to live in Casablanca, where the song of a long gone once upon a time can bring back yesterday. And that's when at night I take my strings and wear a white dinner jacket and Troubadour in Rick's Cafe, where my songs are ringing tears from the eyes of the ladies of the night, and jeers from the guys in uniforms as black as night. They're choking on their spite, they never see the light. But I could have it all together in Casablanca, pitch my tent upon the shifting, undulating desert sand, sleep away the morning, trade your virtue for a song, forever the fool, forever young. Sail the ship of the desert to Casablanca, cruising over the dunes of Araby. We will survive when we fly o'er an ocean that's gone bone dry. We only live pretending we can't die. Well, we never
thank you also for coming down tonight and spending your time and your money to get down here and see us. We hope that we can help you promote your music. Definitely unique and different. It's not your average singer-songwriter stuff. It's much more intricate, and I want you to know, as a songwriter, I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
I want to thank also the folks that are here with us tonight. I want to thank Larry Green for his engineering. I know he just came off a cruise, so this is a bit of a work session for him. And
I don't feel the least bit sorry for that.
And Gene and Barbara, thanks so much for all y'all do, taking the pictures. Ashley's sitting in tonight with Larry, learning how to engineer if we ever need her, so it's all good. And my partner here, Helen, makes it all work. Robert, thanks again.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. You lovely people.
You're in the music room with Treadway and Friends.